Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here, and I had a request from one of our wonderful members to do an update for Pick 3 of Indiana. Really trying to figure out where the hottest numbers are for that particular state. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, I try to get very specific with each state because rundowns and different type of strategies may work differently in different states, and this is no different. So even if you're not in this state, you may want to pay attention, take a few notes, and backtrack to see if your state is having some of these hot patterns, okay? These hot patterns could turn out possibly some of the hottest numbers. So I want you guys to make sure you're paying close attention. So we're going to start today. We're going to use a rundown. I love using rundowns. Why? Because they're very simple to track patterns. They look a little daunting because you see a lot of numbers, but I'm going to have a little trick for that and show you where you want to keep your eye at for some hot potential numbers. Okay, so we're using a 1, 2, 3 rundown. And so what I've done is I've used the hit from February 7th evening in Indiana, which was 841. So how do we put this rundown together? It's very simple. We're simply going to add each of these numbers down the columns. So for the first column, we would add 1 all the way down. So 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. Now when you get to your 2-digit numbers, you're only going to use the ones place, 0. Then we would add 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. So you know you did it right. The number you start with will be the number that you end with, okay? And then you would simply add 2 all the way down the second column, 3 all the way down the third column. So where's some of the hottest areas that you may want to pay attention to on your rundown? Where do you start to look for hot numbers? Well, one place I'm going to suggest is your split pairs. And these are going to be in the form of either split doubles or split mirrors. So I want you guys to pay close attention to the numbers on the side. I want you guys to get used to that, okay? You're going to see here, hopefully this is the right highlighter, a 9 on one side and its mirror 4 on the other side. If you look past part of the rundown, you'll see a 4 on this side and the 9 on this side. What's special about those numbers, guys? They're mirror numbers. Mirror numbers are very helpful. I know there's a lot of scrutiny about mirror numbers with the Pick 3 community, but pay attention because depending on the rundown or the technique you use, they could be very helpful in helping you pick out hot numbers, okay? So mirror numbers, 9 and 4, 4 and 9. They're actually the same number. They're just opposite of each other. Sometimes we'll see doubles like 9, 9 or 4, 4. Sometimes you won't. So I want you to get your eye trained to look at your split pairs. Sometimes they'll be doubles, sometimes they'll be mirrors, okay? So other mirrors that you may want to jot down, okay? You may see them split. 0 could be a 5 or 5 could be a 0. 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4, okay? Excuse me. So whenever you see these, I want you to pay close attention to them. Now with Indiana specifically, I've noticed a lot of your hottest pairs are coming right on the right side underneath one of the split pairs. Now I have seen hot pairs come on the top of that as well on the right side. So pay attention to both. So this is how I would probably start putting them out. Let me get a quick pen here. Didn't do that, I know better. Okay. So what do I mean by hot pairs? You see this 2 numbers, 8, 7, okay? This is a general area where you can start looking. You start from your pairs. I just noticed on the right side, a lot of the hot pairs are coming under that area or under that specific split number, okay? So 8, 7 could be a really hot pair. Now I've noticed they're either using the one or of this 2 digits above it for the third number. They can always change that. But 874 could be something. or 876. Okay, now remember, they can use the pairs above it and then go down, maybe 414 or 416. They could. I've seen more of them on the bottom, so I'm going to just stick with that pattern, but feel free to backtrack so you can see which patterns you think are the hottest. Okay, I don't want you just to stay with the 874 and the 876. What people don't realize about a rundown is after the halfway point, all the numbers are just mirrors. Okay, like the 841, what we started with, becomes a 346. The 964 becomes a 469. They're just mirrors, but that means the pairs underneath can change. So this will go from an 87 to an 82. I'm going to write that down, 82. So then 829, 826, and again, I'm using those particular numbers for the third digit because that's what the pattern's been showing. But if you feel that there's other numbers that could be used in place of those third numbers, feel free to try and add on as much as you need to. Okay, so with that said, what actually hit from this group of numbers? Okay, so if you were to write these down, hold on to them maybe for a day or so, maybe even a couple of days, 478 actually came out February 9th, midday. What? Yes. So we have it as 874. Here in our grid, we have 874. Look at those corner hits. Beautiful, beautiful. Very simple, easy technique. Will this work every time? No. There's certain things that you may want to pay close attention to, and maybe you see it already, maybe you don't. But I do want you to pay attention to what I call, or what should be called, a date number. It's different from a date sum. A date number is just a date, okay? So the date is 9. Now I want you to pay attention to this. The split mirrors that we use to locate the hot pairs and possible the third number were the date number. This was a date number indicator. This was telling you there was a chance that the numbers that you chose here in this list could play on this particular day. What does that mean? That means there's a possibility you may not have to play them for days out. You can possibly play them on a specific day. Now the draw, that depends. I noticed the hit 841 came evening, but it didn't go from evening to evening. This one went from evening to midday draw, so you have to be careful with that. But if you're needing a good list of numbers for a particular day, this could be an excellent solution. Now, will this work 100% of the time? Can't guarantee that. Should you just go run out and play, just run out to the store and go start playing? No. I want you guys to start playing on paper first, okay? Because things can and do change. Because you're going to see split mirrors and split doubles if you're using the 1, 2, 3 rundown, or if you're using another rundown like maybe the 317. The thing is, you want to find out if there's a link between the date number and the splits. For some states, date sum numbers would work better. So figure out if there's a connection between date sum or date numbers that can help you know when you might want to play these numbers, okay? And again, this is not 100%. Sometimes even if we have that information, it may not hit that day, okay? So I want you guys to just practice, backtrack, and play on paper, all right? Awesome, wasn't it? Go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And make sure you share this video with another Pick 3 player. I have one more example. Thought we were done. No, Miss Florida. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're still in Indiana, and we're going to go February 9th evening. The hit was 030. Now, I'm going to look for the split pairs. This time, they're in the hit. We didn't have to look too far. They're part of the hit, and they're doubles this time. Okay? So I'm not going to look for our zeros, but I'm going to look for their mirrors. Okay, now pay attention to all of this and how it connects. So you can look at your pairs on the bottom. Sometimes they will move the pairs to the top. Keeping with the theme of the pattern, I'll just stick with the bottom, okay? You decide if you want to use all of them. So I would go 5-8 as my hot pair, 5-8-5, 5-8-3, okay? I would also look under the zeros, 5-3-0, 5-3-3. And again, that third number, they can use other numbers. So I'm just trying to caution you to be careful. Pay close attention. Well, if they stuck with the pattern, looks like they did, 5-3-8 hit February 10th in the evening. Now this time, it just took one day, not 2 days. Now here's something very significant. We just talked about it. And that is the date number. The date number happened to be 0 and 5. See how this was the date? The date was February 10th. We're only looking at the ones place, the 0. You notice these are 0s and 5s. This was telling us there was a possibility, not a guarantee, okay, that the list of numbers that we have here could be hot for that day, okay? So what are you guys going to do? You guys are going to start practicing. A few tips. You may, if you're in another state and you don't see a similar pattern, maybe try using one of your other favorite rundowns. Sometimes the actual splits are used. Sometimes the numbers around the splits are used. But the thing, what I love about this is it gets your eye conditioned to look at a specific area. That way you're not just picking random numbers, right? No one wants to be one-off picking random numbers if possible. So what we try to do here is we try to come up with strategies that will help you guys select better numbers. Can't guarantee what will happen, but hopefully this will make you a better and smarter player. Well, anyways, guys, I so enjoyed this tutorial with you guys. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. Share it with another Pick 3 player. And make sure you guys sign up for that monthly membership. We'd love to have you getting closer and deeper with these workouts. And of course, we have our prediction list. Definitely hot over there. Love to have you. We'll see you guys on the next video.